Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 38th episode of Ask CEO 100able. I hope all of you had a fantastic Christmas since my dad and I had a fun time on Christmas Day 2020. Let's answer some more questions. Doodlebops FTW asks 1. What's your opinion on Kids Bop? 2. What is your least favorite show? 3. Have you been to Great Wolf Lodge before? As for your first question, I haven't been big on Kids Bop whatsoever, so I don't have an opinion on it. As for your second question, it's hard to say what my least favorite TV shows are, so I don't know. As for your third question, no, but that sounds like a fabulous water park chain. New Yorker Safe asks, do you have your fingers crossed in hopes that the COVID-19 aka cough cough pandemic comes to an end? Yes, this worldwide pandemic needs to end once and for all. Mario Fan 98 asks, 1. What is the worst Switch game you've played? For me, it's Asphalt 9. Way too many microtransactions. Being like the horrible EA. Glad Faye from Zoink Games doesn't have microtransactions. 2. Do you despise bootleg toys like bootleg Lego bricks? 3. Ever heard of Lego Chima? 4. What is your favorite Toy Story scene? Non-spoiler? As for your first question, I have not played any Nintendo Switch games yet, so I don't know. Plus, Electronic Arts is not actually bad, it's just that some of their products, especially their modern ones, have some potential, but not a whole lot. But I respect your opinion on EA. As for your second question, yes. I don't care much for bootleg toys, although there are some interesting knockoffs that I actually like. As for your third question, yes, but that doesn't appeal to me very well. Finally, as for your fourth question, my favorite scene of the first Toy Story movie is the You've Got a Friend in Me song. It's fabulous. Kids Show Analysis asks, which Teletubbies US episodes that have yet to be uploaded would you like to see uploaded on YouTube? I have always wanted to watch the full episodes of the US versions of the Gingerbread Boy, Bagels, and Soccer online. Lee Marmite asks, 1. Can you ask Superjack 2020 to make a movie called Kayla the Movie? 2. Would Heavenly Steven have made his Abigail videos in this order? Abigail Goes to Preschool, Abigail's First Christmas, Abigail's Lemonade Stand, Abigail's Birthday, and Abigail's Big Adventure, just like your Kayla videos being in this order. Kayla Goes to Daycare, Kayla's First Christmas, Kayla's Lemonade Stand, Kayla's Birthday, and Kayla's Big Adventure? As for your first question, yes, I will ask Superjack 2020 to work on that Go Animate slash Beyond movie. As for your second question, yes, those video ideas would have been amazing. Lee Marmite asks, 1. Can you ask Superjack 2020 if he could make Pongo from 101 Dalmatians so he could be in his Beyond videos along with you, Kayla, Michelle, William, Richard, Trevor, Lucky, and Patch from 101 Dalmatians, and Kayla's parents? 2. Since Comedy World has retired from Beyond, can you ask Superjack 2020 to make you, Kayla, Michelle, William, Richard, Trevor, Pongo from 101 Dalmatians, Lucky and Patch from 101 Dalmatians, and Kayla's parents in business-friendly form? 3. While William's voice is still Brian, Michelle and Lucky's voices are still Ivy, Trevor's voice is still Simon, Kayla's dad's voice is still Joey, and Kayla's mom's voice is still Susan in Superjack 2020's videos. Can you ask Super Jack 2020 what the new voices for you, Kayla, Richard, and Pongo from 101 Dalmatians will be since the Voice Forge voices for you, Kayla, Richard, and Pongo from 101 Dalmatians got removed from Beyond? 4. Since you weren't able to make Mr. A. Chrissy's requested Beyond videos including a day in a life of Kayla, can you please ask Superjack 2020 to make those videos instead since you retired from Beyond back in 2016? 5. Since you canceled your Kayla series due to you retiring from Beyond because of the non-business themes being removed by HTML5, can you ask Superjack 2020 to do his Kayla videos as a reboot called Kayla the Show? As for your first question, the Pongo character I used was actually a still image of him found on Google Images, so I will ask Superjack 2020 to do the same. As for your second question, yes, that's a good idea. The business-friendly form enables GoAnimate/Beyond users to use animated humans and animals as characters. So that should be feasible. As for your third question, yes, I will also ask Superjack 2020 what good changes need to be made for the voices of those characters. As for your fourth question, oh yeah, that will be a great way to make up for missing out on these video projects. I bet Mr. Acracy will be happy to finally see them get off the ground. Finally, as for your fifth question, yes, that's an interesting idea. I'd like to see how that turns out. Riley Anderson asks, 1. Do you like the train movies, The Little Engine That Could, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and The Polar Express? 2. Do you like the Hasbro PC games, Thomas and the Great Festival Adventure, Chutes and Ladders, and Candyland? 3. Have you seen the Disney Pixar movie, Inside Out? 4. Do you love the Teletubbies on PBS Kids? As for your first question, yes, all of those kids' movies are great. As for your second question, yeah, those kids' PC games are also amazing. As for your third question, no, because I'm not big on it whatsoever. Finally, as for your fourth question, yes, I used to watch Teletubbies on PBS Kids back in 1999 and 2000, and my dad recorded several full episodes of it as well as several parts of them onto blank VHS tapes. Teletubbies was one of the best kids' TV shows of my early childhood. Mr. A. Grizzy asks, what is your favorite flower? My favorite flowers are roses, sunflowers, tulips, lilies, violets, and chrysanthemums. Mr. A. Grizzy asks, what's the most boring thing about 2020 in your opinion? Well, if I were to choose something boring about 2020, it would be the coronavirus pandemic being too slow to end soon enough. Let's hope it will completely end this year in 2021. Sebastian, the King of Disney, asks, what's your favorite thing to do in a Bear in the Big Blue House game? Some of my favorite things to do in Bear's Sense of Adventure for the PC are working on Pip and Pop's famous clam dip, redecorating Tutter's mouse hole, and making triple berry pie. It inspired me to work on a real triple berry pie with my mom back in 2006, which was amazing. My favorite things to do in Bears Imagine That for the same platform are working on ice cream sundaes, putting on puppet shows, and finishing songs in the Pip and Pop Jam activity. My favorite songs in the Pip and Pop Jam activity are The Big Blue House, The Otter Pond, Teeth Blues, Country Dance, The Park, Tutter Blues, Berries, Water, and Hungry Blues. As a matter of fact, on a side note, In my early childhood, the Bears Imagine That PC game was one of the things that introduced me to the blues genre. The Windows XP operating system was another thing that made me get into the same genre back in 2002 because of one of its sample music files being the short version of an instrumental song using a similar title to Bears Imagine That's Hungry Blues, Highway Blues, which was produced by News Stories. 17 years later, in September 2019, I purchased the actual News Stories Speaking Out audio CD on Amazon.com as a nostalgic item and in honor of its 20th anniversary, since it contains the full version of Highway Blues. It brought back lots of fantastic memories. Both Hungry Blues and Highway Blues have a few things in common. The first word of each song name starts with a capital H and ends with a lowercase y, and the last word of each song name is blues. Perhaps the title of Highway Blues was the inspiration for Hungry Blues. My favorite things to do in Bear in the Big Blue House for the PlayStation 1, which should have been called Bear in the Big Blue House Ojo's Birthday Adventure, and also should have been released for the PC and Mac, are the Pip and Popcorn, Dance with Bear, Draw with Ojo, Let's Make a Picture, and Clouds Across the Moon activities. Amanda Cartret asks, who is your favorite Teletubby? My favorites are Tinky Winky and Po. Tinky Winky asks, what's your favorite cartoon show? Note, this YouTube user is named after the Teletubbies character of the same name since he's a fan of Tinky Winky. Some of my favorites are Tom and Jerry, The Flintstones, Heckle and Jekyll, Inspector Gadget, NASCAR Racers, Tiny Toon Adventures, 101 Dalmatians the series, PB&J Otter, Stanley, and Mega Man, the mid-1990s TV series. F-Zero GX Manus HQ asks, 1. Do you watch VeggieTales episodes of 1993 through 1997? 2. Why won't you do Let's Plays anymore? 3. What is your favorite restaurant? As for your first question, yes, all of them are excellent. As for your second question, well, even though I work on episodes of my annual CEO100able's Pre-Resurrection Sunday Let's Play series, I haven't been working on regular Let's Play videos since late 2016 because it was becoming hard for me to find time for any more of them due to other hobbies as well as priorities. It was a lot of fun to work on these videos, but life moves on. As for your third question, some of my favorite restaurants are Famous Dave's, Capriati's, Firehouse Subs, In-N-Out Burger, Steak and Shake, Denny's, Sbarro, Krispy Kreme, and Baskin Robbins. F-Zero GX Manus HQ asks, 1. Can you play Baldi's Basics? 2. Do you know Sprout folded to Universal Kids? It was terrible. 3. Do you know Nick Jr. Face? 4. What's your opinion on Blue's Clues and you? As for your first question, no, because that game does not appeal to me at all. As for your second question, no, I never did, but I agree that they should have never made that change. As for your third question, yes, I used to see Nick Jr. Face segments on my Blue's Clues VHS tapes. He was comical and fabulous. Finally, as for your fourth question, Blue's Clues and You is a fantastic reboot of the original Blue's Clues TV series. Well, that will be it for this episode of Ask CEO100able. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please comment below. Stay tuned for episode 39 of Ask CEO100able. Thanks for watching.